Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for Bitcoin. I'm going to do an in-depth on this one as well as show Bitcoin dominance, what's very important coming up, so make sure to pay attention to that. This is how I expect alt season to potentially be taking off right now. So this is a pretty important video. A few days ago, what I mentioned to you guys was we were looking for this to be a 1-2-1-2, come to my box area between 61 and 64, and look to long to the upside. Now, we didn't get that. I mentioned look for a pivot between the 1.236 and 382. Look for this to be a running flat, then continue. And finally, I mentioned if we get through the 1.618, I will flip to my alternative count because this can no longer be a B wave within a correction. So I'm not buying into this currently. I'm not in a position. But if I were to take it, I would probably trigger in here and put my stop either at the wave 1 on one lesser degree here in validation level or above the 50%, because this would be a 1-2 third wave, right? Just past the 50%, because that's where we wouldn't want our fourth wave to come. But anyways, we're going to switch to our alternative. This was our alternative count, and that we are making a larger diagonal. Now, I will also have the super extreme bullish count, but this is the next count as my primary until it becomes invalidated. Now, it's important to note our all-time high is coming up, so we'll see how aggressive this move comes. On the larger macro, I mentioned we could get an extended wave much further than expected. So we'll discuss that at a later date, but we're just aware that we could actually get pretty aggressive here to the upside. So this is now my primary count, that we're coming to all-time highs straight from here and looking to buy on the pullback. I'm not interested currently myself buying in this area because we're kind of in the middle of the wave. And there is one more alternative count where we could actually come back down. And what that would look like is assuming our triangle scenario here. Let me go back to that. Assuming our triangle scenario is alternatively, we start our impulse from here, and this is the middle of our third wave in white. And I'll get targets for that for next video. But this is the more bullish scenario, 1-2-1-2. These are nested, and we should just get continuation, right? Volume coming in much stronger than it is right now, and just continue to peak at RSI through this wave. And we just got a very short retracement to the 382. Now, I didn't like the length of time in this. As you know, it wasn't long enough. So I am more leaning towards this scenario here in the bullish scenario. But there is one more that I'm considering, and this would be our Y wave, our low starting here. So our low is starting right at this pivot. And this is actually finishing itself into a diagonal, but very quickly becoming unlikely. As you can see, we broke to the upside of the channel. So I'm not giving much credence to this unless we pull back very quickly. We do expect overthrow here. Third wave is still not the shortest, so I wouldn't lean into this. This is just if we got a failure here, I need to have an alternative. That would be my alternative. So just wanted to make you aware of that, but I'm not considering that a real option unless we get pullback. So right now, looking for either the third of a third where we get extended to the upside here, or a C wave within a third wave within the ending diagonal. But it's important to note my direction is up, okay? Just getting the direction to the upside, at least targeting at the upper bounds of between 75 and 77 right now for this diagonal. Now let's talk about Bitcoin dominance. Exciting days. Where's my count here? Okay, so I'm out on the 4 hour. This is my Bitcoin dominance chart. And it's, let me go out to the 1 hour actually, or the daily. So I've been tracking this for quite a long time. I mentioned it to you guys before. What we want to see in an altcoin season, which is potentially what we're getting into literally at this moment. I have a bunch of videos I loaded up there, trade setups, if you want to make the decision to get involved. But how I have this mapped out is an A wave for Bitcoin dominance. We have a expanded flat here for our B wave, and we're looking for a C wave down. This is alt season. This is where alts outperform Bitcoin. Now, in order to get an alt season, it's very important to note that Bitcoin needs to go sideways or up at a slower pace than altcoins. So my count here is a impulse for our C wave. Wave 1, 2, 3, 4, working on a diagonal for our C wave. And my invalidation point for that on Bitcoin dominance is 60.27%. So we're getting very close to invalidating my count, in which case I would have to relabel things. But you can see we're at the top end of that trend line. I just really want to see a rejection here. And the best case scenario to get an alt season is Bitcoin drifts sideways in price while alts make their next leg up, or Bitcoin continues to rise but at a slower pace than altcoins, where altcoins outperform Bitcoin in price. So that's what we're looking for here. Either Bitcoin to go sideways or rise slower than alts. So if you're looking for alt season, that's exactly what we're looking for. That's what we want to see. That's how alt season starts in previous markets. So yeah, overall looking good. Quite excited for this. I've been leveraging up in a lot of positions. Just need to get our impulses out of here if alt season is going to begin. But if Bitcoin starts to crash, that's not what we want. We're fine with smaller corrections, but sideways as alts take off, or we're fine with Bitcoin moving up slow as altcoins outperform. So that's exactly what we're looking for. All right, guys, if you like my videos, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you want to make sure you get your video as soon as it comes out. Also, if you check in the comments, I sometimes post trade setups that I don't post on YouTube on my Twitter, and my handle will be first link in the comments section. All right, guys, that's it for Bitcoin. Again, I'll go back real quick. What we're looking for is either a third wave to the upside in nested 1-2s. And that looks good on the daily, eh? And we push past all-time highs with a lot of volume, or we stop between 70, 75-ish, 78-ish, and get this fourth wave before our fifth to the upside. I am 50-50 on both right now. We'll have to wait and see what happens. If this daily candle gets pushed really hard, obviously we have to consider it a third within a third. And at that point, most likely getting this. And I will have targets for you for next video. All right, guys, thanks for watching.